Lillian lies on the operating table, having had her insides ripped open to give her sister Jacqueline a chance at a normal life again. Jacqueline's kidneys failed 6 years ago, and until today, she has been unable to release urine normally. It's Jacqueline's turn to lie on the operating table. With one of Lillian's kidneys inside of her, the success of the transplant is measured by whether or not she produces urine. She does. The next day, it will be 50-year-old Ngao Mkambangao's turn. Ngao was diagnosed with kidney failure in May of 2011. He believes it was caused by hypertension, which he has been suffering from since 2003. He comes from Mariakani, where he has been a primary school teacher since 1983. But given the expense of dialysis, he decided to come to the Kenyatta National Hospital and get a transplant.
Nilipoambiwa ile mwezi wa 5 ya kwamba niko na kidney failure, Dr. Getamba kanambia dialysis is very expensive. Kwa hivyo the best thing ni upate mtu akupatie kidney. Kwa hivyo nikaitisha mkutano na family, nikawaeleza and they were very good, they responded very well. Alafu sasa dada zangu ni wawili. Nikawaketisha hawa. Huyo mdogo na huyo mkubwa. Wote wakajitolea, lakini tukaanza na mmoja. Tukaanza na huyo mkubwa. Tukaanza kupimwa sasa. Vizuri sasa the cross match ikaenda sawa.
His family has been invaluable. His younger brother, who is a policeman, took a loan to finance the 300,000 shilling surgery, and his younger sister, 53-year-old CD Mwatsaka, volunteered her kidney.
Niliamua mwenyewe kwa vile nataka apoe na tuwe tunasalimiana kwa vizuri na tuwe pamoja. Sasa nikaamua mwenyewe. Kasema yu dada yangu kwa vile ni mgonjwa na ameugua muda mrefu na nataka na figo. Nataka nitolewe nipatie akae mzima na mimi nikae mzima.
Judith Kemunto was 28 when she was diagnosed with kidney failure.
When I was first told, I was admitted for like 1 month in a hospital.
A coma?
A coma. For the first 3 weeks, I was dead.
Immediately you were told?
I was shocked.
Unable to balance her twice-weekly dialysis sessions and work, she had to give up her job as a pharmacy technician.
So I stopped. My boss told me to stop working because I can't manage going there, coming to work, coming to dialyze. It was really a bit of stress to me. Yeah.
She now depends on her family to finance her treatment.
It's 11,000, yeah.
Without an NHIF?
Without an NHIF card. And now when you have an NHIF card, it's a bit cheaper. We pay 2,650 per session. Now for 2 sessions, it makes a total of around 5,200.
So you got an NHIF card?
Yeah, I did after some time of dialyzing because initially I didn't have NHIF card. So I was paying cash.
2 of Kemunto's sisters agreed to give her one of their kidneys to reduce the financial burden on her family. And fortunately for Kemunto, one was a perfect match.
In fact, it was identical. It was identical match.
Lillian Ngao and Kemunto are the beneficiaries of a week-long kidney transplant program at the Kenyatta National Hospital. It's aimed at raising awareness on renal failure, and the program has been running for the last 4 years. As in Kemunto and Ngao's cases, those who suffer from hypertension and diabetes are at higher risk of renal failure. Dr. John Gigi, the head of the Kenyatta National Hospital's renal unit, cautions.
It's the story of the egg and the chicken. Hypertension, particularly poorly controlled hypertension, usually causes renal failure. Similarly, when you have got chronic kidney disease, renal failure if you like, you also do get hypertension. So each of them can cause the other and accelerate the other.
Despite their conditions, Gigi says, Kemunto and Ngao should consider themselves lucky to be undergoing transplants given only a limited number can be carried out due to a shortage of resources.
We could do better. We do only one. And actually not every Wednesday, but every twice a week, a month. And this is because we don't have enough theater space. We are still sharing the same theater with the other surgical disciplines. We also do not have enough personnel for that. We still have the same traditional surgeons, the same traditional physicians. I think if we were able to do capacity building in terms of human resource, and then of course would be much better off in turning out numbers of the people we transplant.
The Chief Medical Specialist, Department of Surgery, Kenyatta National Hospital, Maina Kanyi, carried out the transplant on Lillian and is disheartened similar surgeries cannot be carried out more often.
The kidney problem in Kenya is quite large. We have so many people waiting for kidney transplant now. If you go to the renal unit, you find more than even 50 people waiting for renal transplant, and we have others in the provincial hospitals. But you see, the transplant center is only Kenyatta National Hospital, but we have a few other private hospitals doing it. But you see, the bulk of the work from the Wananchi is from Kenyatta National Hospital. And this is coming because the population is large. Now, before we were, a few years ago, we were 30 million. Now we are nearly 45 million. And you can see the burden of the disease increases. There are so many diseases like diabetes, hypertension, mainly affect the patients a lot. Infections in the kidneys and infections in the kidneys, even febrile infections like malaria may precipitate kidney failure. So we find that we have so many patients to handle.
Kemunto, Lillian and Ngao should also consider themselves lucky that their families are willing to donate their kidneys.
The law is very clear in Kenya. So far, we are only allowed to use life-related donors. That means if it is me who needs a transplant, it can only come from my son, my daughter, or if it's my son or my daughter, I have to give, or my wife has to give. But now we allow the spouses. We think the wife and husband are related, so we can give husband to wife or wife to husband. Because we don't want to have criminal activities, people harvesting other people's kidneys and selling them. That must be prevented. Our people selling their kidneys so that they can get a chamber or they can get a house. You see, this is not ethical. So the medical practitioners and dentist board would be very clear on this, and they will not like that. And the ethics demand that we do what is right. So that is the only way to go. And if people would come and donate, it will be very good. And for the media, we would ask you, please help us when it comes to passing the bill on transplantation of organs, that it can be passed so that we can be able to get our people access organs that are going to be thrown away just because somebody is brain dead. Because if they could facilitate that, then we can have more people, maybe more than double the number of people receiving transplant.
It's not only important to get a kidney, but also to take care of it. And central to this is the drugs that people take for the life of the graft in that person. These drugs are called immunosuppressants, and patients do take those drugs every day. And of course, if you don't take these drugs, that kidney will get rejected. I'm also not forgetting that there are certain risk factors that people get after getting kidney transplantation. The cardiovascular risks, heart problems, obesity, diabetes may also come consequent of kidney transplantation as a complication of the drugs that patients do take. So patients who do get kidney transplant then are obliged to be thoroughly followed up, or they must really be followed up closely, because it's only by doing so that you can identify these problems as they come and manage them accordingly. And this is, like I said before, a lifetime basis.
Kemunto, Lillian and Ngao might be over the hurdle of dialysis, but remaining in good health following the transplant is still a lifelong commitment. Given where she's been, Kemunto says it's a small price to pay to get her life back.
Are you scared about tomorrow? No, I'm happy, I'm excited. Yeah, because I know now I'll be a new person, I'll be a different person, and I'll lead a normal life like anybody else. Yeah.
Olive Barrows reporting for Capital TV.